Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper.
And a good evening to you all. Welcome back to my channel. I am 350. So yes, another evening wine impressions vlog. I have with me tonight an interesting bottle to try out and share my experience with you. It is a Pauillac. Yeah, that's correct. And the shocking thing is, it is retailing for under £28. Yeah, I'll let that sink in a little bit. So through Majestic Wines, you can pick up a bottle of Definition by Majestic Pauillac. So it's a particular highly regarded region in Bordeaux on the left bank, I believe, and home to some of the most expensive and highly sought after wines on the planet. So when you utter the word Pauillac, it brings up those really high-end chateaus that fetch well into 4 or even 5 figures, depending on the vintage. So to find a Pauillac for under £28 retail, that is an intriguing prospect. So I must admit, I have tried Pauillacs from a supermarket before. They typically around the 30 or just above the £30 mark. That is, in my experience, generally the very entry level for that particular sub-variant of Bordeaux. So to find something even cheaper than that is going to be quite interesting. So yeah, I'm keen to get this one opened and then have a taste and let you all know how it goes. But before I do, I'll just quickly read the blurb on the back of the bottle. However, I'm wary about any tasting notes on here will put me at risk of any suggestion bias. So I will try to disregard that particular piece of information as I'm reading this out. So, Definition by Majestic, a range of wines that captures the quintessential qualities of the world's greatest wine styles. So they selected Ulysse Casabonne, or if I pronounce that correctly, as the partner for this wine. General Manager Francois Dugois selected this Pauillac from a renowned Grand Cru. It is concentrated with aromas of cassis and cherry alongside savoury, cedary notes. Now that's in roughly translate. I hope that doesn't roughly translate even, as this is derived from the dregs of the proper stuff that is used to make the more pricier Pauillac. Let's hope that isn't the case, but we'll find out by opening this up and then giving it a try. So I will be right back. Okay, just uncorking the bottle now. I just realised only by opening up the foil, I can now know what vintage this wine is. It's a 2019. So yeah, pushing 6 years old now. I just got to be careful now with knowing how old this is, and the cork does feel a little bit on the slightly less supple side now. Yeah, okay, there you go. I'm gonna pour a little bit on my now much used burgundy glass. All right, let's get the first impression on the colour. Yeah, so okay, yeah, it's as expected. It's looking more towards the I don't know if you can see that okay. It's starting to, yeah, it's the age, the aging does show in this particular wine, but it's still fairly plenty of rubiness in there. Okay, so let's give it a little quick swirl. So apologies if I'm swirling my glass a lot, it's just habit. Normally good practice just to aerate the wine as you're drinking it, especially if it's something that's nearly 6 years old. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no surprises. It's very woody, given how long it's been stored in the oak barrel. Yeah, it's a very very classic Bordeaux nose profile. Spicy, woody. The aforementioned cassis and cherries. Yeah, the fruit is definitely in there, but it's very bold. It's very confident, very oomphy. Sorry, that's not really the best technical term, but it's the best I can do right now. Going to now go ahead and give it a try. Yeah, cheers. Whoa, that is particularly upfront. It is. I keep talking about my previous wine reviews about how there's a way how wine delivers in terms of taste, how your palate perceives its characteristics, and it seems to just come in pretty much all at once. Yeah, so the mid palate is the same as the start. Just as I'm sipping, you're hit with the wood. I said the aforementioned cedar on the label is there. Definitely the fruits are there. Plenty of that. The spice and yeah, it's nicely balanced. Even though it's very punchy, there's a lot going on. It's balanced. There's not too much of each. If I'm describing that correctly, I'll give another taste. That's rather interesting. The tannins are smooth, not too prickly. It doesn't coat my mouth and it doesn't linger too long. It's got a nice silkiness to it, which you expect with Pauillac. It certainly tastes like every bit as a £30 wine or even more. If you're talking about supermarket retail prices. In a restaurant, especially in London or somewhere busy, touristy, this type of wine would go for 80, 100, maybe even more per bottle. The markup in a restaurant is crazy. It's anywhere between 2.5 to 4 times, depending on depending on the margins that the restaurant can get away with, really. But this is it's certainly no budget plonk, that's for sure. It's telling me. Actually, I'm just picking up something now. Aftertaste. It still lingers, and I'm still detecting fruit on the palate. It's still there. It's almost like the fruit is very ripened. It's ripened fruit, not dried fruit like you find in a Rioja or dare say a Chianti. There is ripened fruit in there, and it lingers. There's certainly it's a very fruity wine, but not in the way, in a vibrant, young, springy way like you would with a Pinot Noir. It's not quite like that, but it's certainly, you can taste the grape in here. Yeah, this is this one is how should I describe it? It's the finish. It is a little bit. I think it's not doesn't finish as tidily as I'd like it to be. So if you compare that to, say, the Pomerol that I tried a few weeks back, which was about £31. So yeah, that had a nice finish. It did not linger for too long. This, however, I think it does leave something behind, whether for better or for worse, I'm not entirely sure. But because it's so silky, it just drinks so nicely. I think you can forgive it, and you could probably have more than one glass in a given evening. And alas, like with any finer wines, is be very careful, be very judicial with having it with food, or what kind of food you have it with. The tasting notes suggests the rest. Well, I didn't read all of the notes, but at the end, serve with beef and game dishes, or with a cheese board. Yeah, so it's very, very cliched, really. But there you go. But I personally would refrain from cheese unless it's very mature, hard cheeses. If you're going for those blue cheeses, those Stiltons, the goat's cheese, anything that is brie, camembert, anything that is mellower, softer, more fatty, I'll be cautious about having that with wine, as it can impede the tasting experience of the wine itself. I'm quite happy to just drink the wine separately from food and just have food with something, a much simpler glass of something else. So yeah, that's my opening impressions of this Pauillac. I'm not blown away by it, I must admit, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good compared to the other Pauillacs I've had. The similar price levels, 30, 35, 36 pounds, 40 pounds from you know the more the upmarket supermarkets like Marks and Spencer and Waitrose. Yeah, it's comparable, but I think it's the finish might irk some. I think some might be fine with it, and I think some might find it a little bit too leaves too much of an impression for too long. All in all, it's an interesting taste. Yeah, the jury's out. I think the jury's out. So I'll just pour a little bit more. It's for good luck. I do like the nose. Certainly do like the nose. That's for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of floralness, petals in there, which is nice. Yeah, the taste hasn't changed. It's still pretty much consistent. Good balance between woodiness, fruit, spice. It's all there. Other tasting notes, nothing's really standing out. I'm not going to try and force myself to pick something out from it that isn't actually there. So it's just a full-bodied, fruity. Makes quite a statement, and it's difficult to ignore, that's for sure. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that review, and something, maybe a little bit of an introduction to Pauillac if you've not had Pauillac before. If you are not sure about this particular one, another good one is Marks and Spencer. I think this is the only Pauillac they do, but it's around about 35 pounds a bottle, and it is, I would say, it's a safe gateway into Pauillac. To find something at the £30 is quite good if you just want to get a good initial slice of what it has to offer. And if you're feeling brave, you want to spend more, then by all means do it. So yeah, so that's about it from me. So yeah, again, yep, thanks for watching my evening wine impressions, and I hope to see you again soon with some more content. So yeah, I'm 350, and until next time, I'll wish you all a good evening. Good night.